want to give a little context as to why I chose the topic that I chose. I'm going to be going into the financials, and my background being accounting, like I did come here with that goal in mind that I could blend these two expertise that I have, because I think they're both really important. And if you're like, as many of you have friends outside the law that don't understand it, you're just like, what? Or just want to say like it's so important, but like you feel like you have this power. I think the same holds true for understanding accounting and financial data. So I was just really thrilled that we went through that. But anyway. So financials, adding context to what we do. I think this is a big part of why it's important that we understand the financials and the financial statements, because it does add context to the value that we add. I think it makes us better if we understand our purpose and our role within an organization or with what we're doing. We can identify better with our client, with their needs, and just have a better sense of what we should be doing. So there's the big three: the income statement, the balance sheet, and the statement of cash flows. All three of them have really important parts to them and things that we should be looking out for. When you look at the income statement, some of the big things to kind of take away from that are that it has such important metrics to understand like what's going on with your client's business. It tells you your revenues, it tells you your gross margins, it tells you your EBIT, your EBITDA, which as many of you guys remember is how the business takes in money so they can keep the paychecks coming. Very important. The balance sheet, this one I think is a little bit less important for us to understand in our day-to-day roles, but I think is still very important to understand as far as value proposition to who our client is. Because it's really important to kind of understand that stockholder equity bit that you see there is what you own when you own a company. Many of you will grow up, will own stocks. Well, I guess many of you are grown up. I shouldn't say that, but I don't have any yet, so I'm hoping to get there. We will someday own stock, investment, retirement kinds of things, and it's important to kind of understand that, yeah, we want to own something that has positive value. And so with assets minus liabilities giving us stockholders' equity, it's a really simple way to kind of understand that with our companies and what they have and what you're really buying. Finally, the cash flow statements. I'm going to be a little bit interactive here. Who remembers the three types of cash flow statements? Or the three types of cash flows?
Operating. Investing.
Financing. Thank you. So all of which are important. A lot of what we deal with is going to be with the operating, because that goes into how our business works and so that it operates. Imagine that. And it's important to understand that the cash can't dip below zero. It's especially important to realize that because, as many of us know, sometimes we get so involved with trying to win the case or to be the best or to just kind of do what we always think is best for our client, but we don't always think that like what's best for our clients in that cash flow statement. If that dips below zero at some point, we could have the best case in the world, but we're out of business. So finally, kind of the takeaways that I got from this program, and I was really happy to kind of see, because to be honest, I had a background of undergraduate accounting, but I've had no validation in the working world that this is how it is, this is how it should be. And so I think these are kind of the important takeaways from it. You don't want to miss the forest for the trees when you're looking at these kinds of stuff. You don't want to get too involved with what you're doing individually as a lawyer or within your own department to forget that you're part of a larger business with all kinds of needs, and you got to fulfill those and satisfy that. You got to understand budgeting. So, no matter how good you are as an in-house counsel, if the financials don't work, you're not going to get a paycheck, and it's just not going to succeed. So I just thought that was really important, and I really just wanted to reiterate that again, and how happy I was that we went over it, even I remembered and learned a lot of this kind of stuff. So it was a great experience, I thought.
Comments?
Monday, I know you got one for me.
Indeed.
I thought you did a really great job looking around the whole room and the hand gestures.
I like that your style is like, it's still you. Like, it's you presenting to us, but it's not, you get your personality through it, whereas some people get really formal or like nervous or whatever. So I like that.
I just have a question, mainly for Bill. Is council misspelled on these slides, or can that work that way?
Yes,
Sorry,
So it keeps like auto-correcting to that. I thought I was going crazy because every time I try to do it, it would put it to that.
No, otherwise I thought you did a great job, Stuart. But I just wouldn't have.
Some Microsoft products don't recognize the correct spelling beyond the word. So you gotta tell
Is that
them. You
okay?
can right click and hit add to dictionary. You don't do that anymore.
I thought I was just every time I'm such a terrible speller. Every time it tells me that's the right way, I'm like, all right, sure.
No, that's.
I liked the interaction in the middle. Like, I know a lot of people do at the beginning, which is good too, but I liked it when you're like, oh, does anyone remember these things? And then we were all like, oh, and we all think that we thought about it, so I like that.
I really liked that you picked a topic to go into. You know, I think I've very much enjoyed learning about people's companies, but I also enjoyed the ones that go topically about the camp, the things that mattered. The one that you did that made that I thought were also really interesting.
For a second, I thought we were supposed to do one like all on our companies, and I was like, oh my god, I did a totally wrong presentation.
I don't know.
Yeah. I just add one comment. I like the way that you focused your message in threes. So even when you had the big three, you had no more than 3 bullet points underneath it. And the human mind generally grasps threes easier than other multiple numbers when you're going through the points. So that all seemed to work pretty well for me. Good job.
Mm-hmm.